Hey everybody, it's been a while since I brought you a video like this, but we have yet another brand new laptop that the owner does not want to have Windows 8 on. So we're going to be, I guess you can call, de-Windows 8-atizing, de-8ing, un-8ing this laptop. It's a brand new Toshiba satellite, I assume. Look for the specs. This one actually came with Windows 8.1. It's a satellite C75D, and it is about to get Windows 8.1 taken off of it and have Windows 7 installed. Now, for you guys out there start commenting saying, "Oh, Windows 8 is better than Windows 7," I don't want this to be a Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 versus 7 war. The owner wants Windows 7. His company runs Windows 7. As a matter of fact, I just got them upgraded to Windows 7 from XP. Windows 7 is installed on the vast majority of their computers, minus a couple that have Windows Vista, and probably 2 that have Windows XP still for running sign printers. But anyways, I'm going to do this just like I've always done with my Windows un-8ing videos and my OEM PC wipe and reinstall videos. I'll bring you this brand new laptop. I'll unbox it, I'll plug it up, and I'll show you what comes included on it. Just to show you guys some mess that people have to deal with when they buy OEM systems like this. Let's go ahead and unbox this laptop. I tell you what, they sure to package these things really good. Hard to get in them. Then again, you don't want the package to come open before it reaches the end user. Here it is. Kind of upside down, but I think it's probably one of the smallest laptop boxes I've seen in a while. Anyways, you have your power cord and power adapter, and I don't think really much has changed with Toshiba's. And here is the actual laptop. I don't know how much this thing was. I don't know how much this laptop cost. Basically, the owner bought it from Best Buy or somewhere and brought it straight to me. Brand new Toshiba satellite. And of course, got all these disclaimers here, saying all plastic bags can be very dangerous, which yes, they can if you give them to a child. Don't suffocate your child. Don't give them a plastic bag. And of course, they have the lid of the laptop protected. And I'm finding something a little strange. It's not often you find, at least in my opinion, it's not very often you find laptops that come with the battery already installed in the package. At least in the past, when I've unboxed laptops, they had the battery separated and you have to manually install it, which is not too difficult. It's really it's pretty straightforward. Making sure there's no safety things under here, and there's not, it just sits right in there. Now let's go ahead and take off this sleeve. So basically all there is to it is plugging this thing up and getting started. It's a nice one too. AMD A6 quad-core APU. Got your full keyboard with number pad on the side. You know, HD display, HDMI out, USB 3.0, all that good stuff. Now let's go and get all this packaging out of the way, and let's go ahead and plug this thing up and let the adventures begin. And while I do like Toshiba products, they tend to really load you down with all sorts of bloatware and junk. And that's where my OEM PC wipe and reinstall service originated from. Move this out of the way. Go ahead and plug in our power adapter. I don't know if you noticed earlier, but the amazing thing about Windows 8 and later is they don't have a COA key. Now, I had always thought that in all cases you could just insert your Windows 8 DVD and install Windows. Would always find a key, but after what I heard from a local computer shop last week, there are times to where the CD doesn't find the key, so you're pretty much screwed. I think they should have just left things alone like it was. Have a COA key that doesn't wear off the sticker, like they had back in the early XP days. Just left it at that. But of course, we're talking about Microsoft here. They don't care. All they want is more money, so they see the loss of a product key as an additional $100 profit for them. We'll move all this stuff out of the way. Now, of course, you may notice it's very quiet here. That's because the Mid-Tower Deluxe is currently out of service due to a hard disk failure. Not that the Mid-Tower Deluxe is really loud in the first place. The fan you're hearing is actually one that's mounted on my wall. Have a look at the aesthetics of this laptop. It's pretty nice. Now we're going to plug in a power adapter. You figure out where it plugs in on this thing. It plugs in on the left. This is highly similar to a Toshiba I just worked on last week. Same service. Removing Windows 8 and putting Windows 7 on it. Let's let the fun and games begin. Brand new Toshiba satellite computer being powered up for the very first time. Let's see how much bloatware we have on this one. And the amazing thing about these newer computers is they all have secure boot turned on. So you don't see your classic BIOS popping up saying press delete to enter setup and all that crazy stuff. All you see is the Toshiba or whatever logo, and you see the little spinning thing. And you're gonna find out just how difficult it can be to take Windows 8 off of a new laptop that came pre-installed with it. Let's see how much registration bullcrap we get. Apparently it's decided it's not finished booting up just yet. Now, of course, as I mentioned, the company, the company owner that has this laptop is running Windows 7 on it. And of course, let's go ahead and show you something. And for once, look what Toshiba has done. I believe Toshiba did this. You can select your time zone. That's something Windows 8 did not come with. Or at least when I installed it, Windows 8 and 8.1. So let's go and set the time zone. Maybe they had a hotfix for this or something. So that way you can actually set the time zone in your Windows 8.1 computer when you set it up. Wow. And just like I was mentioning in a prior video about newer computers, this one does not have a hard disk LED, so I can't tell if it's right in the middle of doing something right now. Look at all these license terms. You have one side is for Microsoft Windows 8.1, and the other side is for Norton, which we'll never use. I'm going to talk about that here shortly too. The amazing thing about I'm going to skip this. And now we're actually on to the Windows 8 setup. So I think Toshiba had something to do with adding in the opportunity to set your settings and time zone. We're going to call this Windows 8-1. We'll set the color to green. I guess it don't really matter. So next. Get online. Yeah, we can go ahead and connect to our wireless network. Let's go in. I'll just use the express settings. Like it's going to really matter. It's going to be losing internet. It's going to be losing Windows 8.1 soon anyway. So what does it matter? And you noticed earlier how it said how on the right hand side it had Norton. That's because it seemed like all these computers, there's something about Norton antivirus. They have to install it on every single computer that you buy from the store. And the truth is, with Windows 8 and 8.1, they're the first versions of Windows, I believe, that don't really even require a third-party antivirus program because, Microsoft does have their own antivirus program called Security Essentials. And from what I understand, they do have it sort of integrated in to, Windows 8 and 8.1. And to be honest, I think the main reason why they're still including, Norton pre-installed is because Symantec is just desperate for money. Anyways, look at this Microsoft account bullcrap. And you're thinking, I want to create a local account. I don't want my stuff to be synced with Microsoft. So, what we're going to do here is come up with some, fake email. Let's say, Joe at email.com. And we'll just say password. This is how you can bypass setting up a Microsoft account or having, because truth is, you can still create a local account. Just click next, and it says someone has entered a, incorrect password for this account too many times. So apparently that was actually a valid email address. So we're going to create a local account. Let's put my name in there. Say finish. Now, of course, like I mentioned, if you're new to Windows 8 or 8.1, you're going to stumble quite a bit when you're trying to figure this out because, for the past who knows how many years, Windows has not changed a whole lot in terms of the UI. You mean you have your taskbar and your start menu and stuff like that. Windows 8 goes a little bit different than that. You still have a taskbar when you're desktop, and with the 8.1 update, you still have a taskbar when you're using a mouse. But the start menu is nothing like what it used to be. It's just this big old screen full of tiles like you're using a phone or tablet. And look here, it's installing all these worthless apps we may never use. I guess only one good thing I got to say about this is this one actually came with Windows 8.1. It's funny, the OEM machines, at least when I go to Walmart and look at them, it took a year for them to start showing up with Windows 8.1 pre-installed. I mean, 8.1 was released, early in 2013. And in early 2014, I finally started to see computers with Windows 8.1 pre-installed, and I'm guessing by spring of next year, we'll finally start to see them with the Update 1 installed. It says you can get new apps from the store. No thanks, I'm using a computer, not a tablet. I got a phone, a smartphone. I'll show it to you. I think this would be a good laugh. This is my phone. It's a Droid Razr M. It has, I think, Android 4.4.2 on it, which is KitKat. Now I can't be 100% sure if I said the correct number. But I want to show you guys how neatly laid out the apps menu is on this phone versus what you have in Windows 8.1 and Windows 8. I mean, it's a huge difference. This is one of the reasons why I didn't go with a Windows phone. And this thing's taken quite a while to install all those worthless apps. And like I mentioned, we're just going to be doing a brief tour of all the bloatware that's installed in this thing. And then I'll show you how difficult it is to actually get Windows 8 off the computer. Some computers it's easier, others it's more difficult. But with Toshiba's, I think I figured out an easier way. It says now it's taking care of a few things. Don't turn off your PC. I figure for the time being, I'm going to show you the menu on my phone. I mean, have a look at this. This is, I guess you can call the equivalent of the start screen in Windows 8 in 8.1. You have your clock. You have like weather. See battery, battery life. Some of your most used apps. And to go to all apps, press this center button. And here's all your apps. Very user intuitive. Now we're looking through widgets. It's very user intuitive. You know, everything is neatly laid out. Apps are shown in a grid. And of course, we're looking at the home screen again. And like like in Windows 8, you pull to the right to see more. Same here with this Android. And of course, there are settings. I mean, it's just so simple, simply laid out. Now, just wait till we see what you have in Windows 8 and 8.1 if you've never seen it before. I'm sure many of you probably have, and you probably didn't think a whole lot of it. Okay, it's almost time. Boy, yeah, I'm real excited. Says it's almost ready. And to be honest, I seriously believe if Microsoft wants their next OS to succeed, like Windows XP and Windows 7 did, they're going to have to, pull away from this tablet-first way of doing things. And they sort of tried with the 8.1 update, but one of the biggest mistakes they made was they forgot to put the start menu back in. If they put the start menu back in, it would have helped Windows 8.1 quite a bit. But of course, they don't want to fix their mistakes. Or at least the major ones. I mean, in 8.1 update, they improved the right-click menus within the modern UI interface. And they actually put a close button on the apps for keyboard and mouse users. That's something they should have done long ago. They put a power button on the main start screen, so you don't have to dig through the settings just to turn off the computer. I mean, they've done some improvements, but I mean, I think the biggest thing they need to do is put the start menu back. And it's fine if they want to kind of make a hybrid start menu that has some tiles in it and some programs, but they need to put the start menu back. And we're already over 17 minutes into this video. This thing's taking a while. I wasn't expecting it to take this long. Anyways, you just saw how neatly organized the phone interface was. Have a look at this mess. Now, I really don't understand where Microsoft thought of having all these different sized tiles and such a jumbled up mess would be user intuitive, but anyways, it appears this touchpad does not have scroll. Anyways, look at this. On the left is a typical crap they install. Like your reading list, SkyDrive, which is now OneDrive. That's amazing how far outdated these things are out of the box. Let's scroll to the right. Have a look at the stuff they included here. Now I did talk about let's see, Norton Internet Security a little bit. It amazes me how, you know, they're still trying to, you know, trying to get people to get Norton. And to be honest with you, I think Norton is probably one of the worst pay antivirus programs you can get. If you're going to pay for something, at least get McAfee or something like that. I mean, I've been using AVG free for years and it works just fine. And to be honest, I mean, you got to think about it. Just imagine if one day Windows was, you know, like versions later than, you know, what we have now. Let's say the next version of Windows was to all of a sudden be like Linux, to where it's nearly immune from viruses. That'd be very bad for all these security companies out there. Anyways, you had this touch first interface. Let's go to the desktop. And you notice how we don't have any icons here. It's because they're all pretty much on the start screen. So anyways, if you're buying a brand new computer, I would highly suggest that you just take Norton off. Don't even bother with it. Just uninstall it and then install AVG free if you want to install antivirus. Because like I mentioned, 8 and 8.1 really are a bit more immune to viruses versus prior versions of Windows. And this computer came with a dead battery out of the box, because it's plugged into the computer, which I don't recommend. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at this. I'm just simply doing this on the touchpad, and look, here we are back in start. Let me do that again. I mean, it's real crazy how this works. Now the good thing about Windows 8 and 8.1 is you can turn this crap off. And you actually see, look, I didn't touch nothing. I mean, I didn't tap nothing. All I did was scroll with, you know, I just pulled my finger across the touchpad. Yeah, this crap has got to go. Now let's see what all they installed. But first, let me show you. There is a start button in Windows 8.1, for those who didn't know. And to get to all apps, you just simply press one button. Now look how messy this is. In Windows 7 and prior, your folders were always closed, and to open them in next, like I was saying, XP, you mouse over to the right, you know, the program, and it expanded to another menu. And Windows 7, you just clicked open the folder. Yeah, same for Vista. You clicked open the folder, and you see what's inside that folder. But in here, everything is just opened, and it's just a mess. And it seems like Toshiba has went more to installing apps in the modern UI thing versus loading it down with programs. But notice we have CyberLink Power DVD 12. Again, I don't understand why they're still installing that. I mean, Windows XP is long in the past. Windows Vista and later already come with DVD codec, DVD software. But you think about it, in Windows 8, I can see why, because they got rid of that. You have to have the media pack to have that. But there's plenty of free alternatives out there you can install, and plenty of codec packs you can install to have that. Now look at all these games and all this crap that people don't really want. And to be honest, all this stuff is why I believe Toshiba laptops run so dang slow. It's because of all the crap they install from the factory. Now let's go to Control Panel. Let's go to Small Icons. And you look at this, it looks almost just like Windows 7. Now let's go look at Programs and Features. Seeing this is Windows 8 where you don't have a start menu, this is probably the best way of looking at this. You have some, important things like Adobe Reader, your AMD drivers, your Cisco stuff, audio driver, CyberLink, which I don't really think is needed. I prefer K-Lite over them. Genesis USB mass storage device, probably a driver. See, Google Drive. Oh, we're about to go back into the start menu. Start screen. Let's go ahead and take care of that right quick. Go to navigation. Uncheck. Uncheck. Done. Problem solved. Now look, we have Microsoft Office, but oh, that's a free trial, from what I understand. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a computer come with Microsoft Office for free. Here's Norton Internet Security. I can't stand Norton. Trust me. It's from my own experience in the past and from what other people have told me about their experiences. Mainly what consumers tell me about it. And look at all the Toshiba stuff. I mean, look at it. Toshiba Start. I wonder if that's supposed to be like a start menu. You know, to be honest, it's not as bad as I was expecting. I think Toshiba has sort of cut back a little bit. I'm curious to see what that Toshiba Start is. I think that's it here. It's taking me online. Start.new.toshiba. Really? You have a program that takes you to Toshiba's website? Anyways, I don't want to waste you guys' time anymore because really, I think Windows 8.1, at least in my opinion, is just Windows 8 in general is just a waste of time for me. Especially when you don't have a touchscreen. And look, why are we getting charms? Let me go back to properties. Look here. Corner navigation. When I point to the upper right corner, show the charms. This stuff is unchecked, so why is it still popping up? Yes, Windows 8.1 has got to go. So let's say you want to reinstall it. Let's go ahead and show you what it's like. Now, of course, in Windows 8.1 Update 1, you would have the power button over here. Let's go ahead and restart. See if we can access the BIOS on this one. And usually on Toshiba's, the hotkey is F2. At least I'm going to show you how to get out of Windows 8 on the Toshiba laptop. And apparently that's not working on this one, so we got to go back into Windows 8 and then stumble our way around to find out how to get into the system BIOS. Now, of course, this is a brand new laptop, still in warranty, so I'm not going to pull the hard disk out of it. But even with Toshiba's, when you pull the hard disk out, it still will not go into the BIOS. It won't let you. And to be honest, I think Windows 7 would be starting up just as fast as this, if not faster. Everybody says how Windows 8 and 8.1 are so fast at startup, but I'm not really seeing much of a performance gain, at least here anyway. So that being said, let me go ahead and figure things out here. Let's just search. And look here, while I'm typing, it's doing absolutely nothing. Oh, there it goes. Man, there's a lot of lag in this thing. I mean, lots of lag. Here we go, PC settings. Oh look, it says here start. Yeah, it's funny about Windows 8.1, you get all these random tips. And it's funny, they come up at the times you don't need them. So let's see if we can figure this out. So PC and devices. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I don't care about start. See, look, it won't go away. Get rid of that. Okay. Let's keep trying to figure this out. See if we can find anything in here. I tell you, it's pretty bad when it's just Here we go, advanced startup. Finally found it. So let me go and show you guys how to get out of Windows 8 so you can get into the BIOS, turn off Secure Boot, and turn on Legacy Boot and install Windows 7. Go to PC Settings, Update and Recovery, go to Recovery, and Restart Now. So this should allow us access to the BIOS. Go to Troubleshoot, Advanced Options, UEFI Firmware Settings, which this is the BIOS. Hit Restart Now. It's going to go into the system BIOS when it restarts. Yeah, let's see if we can turn off Secure Boot. Under Security, go down here to Secure Boot, change that to Disabled. Go to Advanced. System Configuration. Go to Boot Mode. Change that to CSM Boot. Now, of course, depending on your brand of laptop, things may be different. Hit Escape to go back. Now, something I'm noticing here is I'm not seeing the boot order. I think we need to go ahead and exit the BIOS and go back in. No, wait, here it is. Right there in boot. I tell you, every BIOS is different. So we need to set number 3, the optical disk drive. Need to move that up to 1. Go to the Exit tab, and for the time being, go ahead and grab your Windows 7 DVD. Insert your Windows 7 DVD. Now we're going to exit Saving Changes. Select Yes. And Windows will go ahead and load files. And then when you get into Windows 7 setup, you will choose Custom instead of Update. And when you get to see your drive partitions, delete them all. I mean, unless you want to leave the recovery one there, you can. But, I mean, it's taking up at least probably 8 to 10 gigs of your hard drive, so let's get rid of it all. And then install Windows 7 and unlock the full potential of your computer. Enough said. So anyways, this is an overview of a brand new Toshiba laptop. You know, all the the bloatware that gets installed, Windows 8.1's lack of user friendliness in general, and how difficult it can be to reinstall Windows on a system like this. This is how difficult it can be just to boot off a different device or boot into a different operating system using, like you used to. So anyways, thanks for watching.